those days. You see, as cool as it is to be on gaming for ages, the only problem with garnering years of gaming experience is that I got old. And the problem with getting old is that you start falling apart. Having committed the ultimate crime of standing up, my back decided enough was enough, and now here I am laid up for what will undoubtedly be a good few days. And so, I thought it might be a good time to get stuck into a game I've always wanted to best. Ghostbusters for the Master System. Now this is not my first foray into this particular title. I grew up suffering the torment of the Commodore 64 version of this game. Thankfully I had this on floppy disk rather than cassette. I couldn't even begin to imagine the horrors of trying to play this off of a tape. But for all the hours I sat playing it, I could never tell what on earth it was that I had to do to succeed. It was basically a nightmare that I was trying to squeeze any semblance of ghost-busting fun out of, whether it was readily available or was actually the case not. And lo, it all became a forgotten memory. That was until I chanced upon this Master System version of the game. This seems to be by far the best iteration of the title, miles above the Commodore 64, which in itself wasn't even the worst version of the game. But it seemed head and shoulders above the NES game, and actually featured some recognisable elements that made you actually feel like this was a Ghostbusters game. It's a small detail, but just seeing the rear end of Ecto-1 parked up here did wonders for the game's atmosphere for me, even though I'd driven there in a completely different vehicle. Anyway, so the game opens with a rather jaunty karaoke version of the Ghostbusters theme tune playing, with a helpful little bouncy ball type thing assisting your chiming along the way. And if you think I'm gonna sing for you guys right now, I'm not risking getting our channel pulled for public indecency. No way. So you start by picking a vehicle. Why anyone would want any other car other than Ecto-1 is a mystery, but there's a lesson I later learned about how your money affects your game progress. So alas, saving a few doubloons picking a car that sucks can be beneficial. But we ain't doing that now. Let's crack on with Ecto-1. Next you have to pick from all this other junk. Barely any of it's from the movie. Ghost Vacuum. I remember that from other videos like AVGN. That's one to get. PKE has to be important. Image Intensifier. Maybe buying this will turn it into that Xbox 360 game. But probably not. What the? I don't even own the Ecto containment system. What kind of shop is this that they sell this stuff? Anyway, getting the show on the road, you're treated to the city grid layout, with Ghost heading towards a building marked Zool. This is presumably Dana Barrett's apartment building from the movie. For some reason you control the Ghostbusters logo, which upon brushing against these ghosts, slows them to a stop. Don't know what these pedestrians are doing meandering the city streets. I don't remember them from the C64 version. Anyway, before long you get some flashing buildings crop up, meaning that there's some kind of spooky activity going on there. And so, jumping in your car you begin the long journey to the destination. Wayward drivers, ghosts, and for some reason random barricades block your path. But at least it's quite fun sucking up the ghost with the vacuum here. These other drivers are a complete menace. They actually blow your car up. Madness. After what feels like an age you get to the location and are greeted with what is a familiar scene to me from the C64. That version absolutely sucked, and I could count on the fingers of a mitten how many times I actually caught a ghost on that one. On the Master System it feels a lot better. The fact it's actually got some semblance of working functionality really makes a difference, and it even verges on being momentarily playable. After the torment of my youth, this is highly welcome. Oh man, one of the Ghostbusters has kicked the bucket though. That does not look like your average kind of slimy. And so, heading back out into the rough streets of NYC, you continue the stopping and capturing hijinks that seems to be keeping the place in order. You can bring back any lost Ghostbusters with a quick trip to HQ, so without so much as a memorial for your fallen comrades, your previous party is restored with fresh blood and you venture out once more like nothing had happened. That's pretty cold, man. Anyway, let's be real here. This is not a classic game by any stretch of the imagination. The obligatory irritations of turning up at empty locations, getting swamped by fast moving ghosts, and having entire city blocks decimated by the Marshmallow Man are all part of the current you have to push back against. And once things get out of control and the snowball starts rolling faster than you can address, it can be pretty crazy here. Yikes. I also realised that the innocent meandering pedestrians are not your average decent jaywalking civilians, as crossing their path drains your finances. Mate, outers. Oh, those two people are Lewis and Dana, aka the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper. Right, gotcha. Oh, the game's over. And thus we get some message against a garish green backdrop. The Zool. What on earth is it going on about? Dana's building? Did they watch the movie? Whatevs. So it turns out that I couldn't go into the building because I didn't earn enough money. These ghosts must charge a heck of an entry fee, but okay. Back to the start we go. Right, I'll pick the red car this time. Load up on traps. Vacuum is standard. Turns out after a brief read that ghost bait can stop the emergence of the Marshmallow Man, so we'll take some of that. And here we go again. Okay, things seem to be going better this time. I'm slowing the ghosts, I'm vacuuming them up, and I'm doing a lot better with the whole trap shenanigans. And actually, I'm kinda enjoying it. The wind is in my sails. Oh, you absolute fiend! Oh man, this is getting crazy again. I feel like the safety of the city is slipping from my grasp. Oh wait, I've been summoned to Dana's building. The Marshmallow Man is dancing the fandango in the doorway. Don't mind me if I just slip by there, mate. I get a refund from your choreographer if I were you. Ah, we're in the stairwell. Thankfully, there are far fewer flights in this one than the movie. The only thing that has the potential to make me throw up here is the weird gameplay. Just gotta avoid these rapscallions and get to the top. Just like so. And we have Gozer the Gozerian, poontanging around like the nimble little mink she is. Had to have a couple of cracks at this one, and there's no stream crossing tomfoolery, but who needs it when you're blasting a lightning bolt from an unlicensed nuclear accelerator straight up her hiney. And bang, she's out of here. See you on the other side, mate. And thus, with that, we get a rather half-hearted letter of thanks from the city. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, yada yada yada. Gozer? What? They actually didn't watch the movie, did they? $5 for saving the city seems a little unreasonable too, but what can you do? Let's see. Gozer attempted to destroy our great metropolis, however, you crushed his vicious plan. His? Wait, is Gozer a woman or not?
I thought Gozer was a man. It's whatever it wants to be.
Ah, whatever. And with that, the game is beaten, and I can lay my childhood traumas to bed, to sleep soundly with long distant memories of watching the Commodore 64 cassette reach the end of the reel as I experienced another failed load. And they tell you to treasure your childhood memories. Anyway, I'll catch you later, gaming guys and gals. Keep it locked here on Gaming for Ages for more retro goodness soon. Laters.